Three, two, one.
Hello, my fellow cigar lovers. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and just glad to be here, uh, dipping my toe in the realm of live streaming. So I was on Rise and Grind's live stream on Saturday night, Friday night, and then on the Lounge on Saturday. Now I'm doing and I'm just going to hang out, and I'm just going to smoke a cigar and just do my thing, talk a little cigar shop. And so today, hey, what's up, Terry? This is my brother, Terry Moore. I've known my whole life. Used to make pizza with, hang out with. Terry's with me, and it's a good thing. Just I'm just getting ready to light me up a cigar. So today I thought hard and long about what I want to smoke. And so I'm doing the Espinosa yearly. This is the 57th. This was his 57th birthday cigar. Uh, I've had a couple of these. I bought like five of them, and I got a couple left. And so I am just light this thing up and hang out with y'all on a Super Bowl Sunday. You know, I'll be honest with you. I am actually. Hey Ray, look at my brother. Ray, you being here right now means so much to me, and thank you for joining. I'm very happy that you're here. You have been a really great supporter of the channel, and you and your guys, the Puff Brothers, it's a city based thing, right on. So we can start this off, but I'm gonna smoke this Espinosa knuckle sandwich, which is the Guy Fieri cigar. But this 57th, I've had a bunch of their other cigars, and I'm not that loving them, if you will. But man, this cigar is good. I've had a bit. Mr. Cash, thank you for coming. Uh, Man, let me tell you about Mr. Cash. He's always in Dr. Marvin's live on Rise and Grind. He was there with us Friday night, when hanging out all night. And thanks for coming. Thanks for being here with me. Oh, hey, look who just showed up. So, guys, the person that I've been telling you about. Let me get this. So, I've been telling you about this fantastic humidor that is right around my house. This is a female-owned business, and it's called the Cigar Room. I got your hat on, girlfriend. I love it, and you've been keeping my head warm all. So thank you for that. And man, this gal, she just never seems to. She just never seems to impress me. She always has stuff coming in. She's always got great cigars, and it's like I don't need to go online. I don't need to go anywhere. I can go to her. of her cigar shop, and she's always got the goodies. You know what I mean? She's got like Opus stuff that she throws out, and like right now, so she's got like the Atabey, um, the Sabios, and then she's got the what is it? I gotta look this up because I'm not gonna get this wrong. Um, Second, the Diosis. It's an 8 by 50. It's like a giant, giant Churchill. You know, and she just always got all these stills. It's like, why would I go anywhere else? Why would I buy stuff online from these schnooks and I want to do all that? You know, I mean, I can go and I can support her. I can support her family. And shout out to Chris, her husband. You know, he's a great guy. Been in the music background for years, done a lot of things, and we've had a lot of great conversations. Uh, you know, support your local M guys. That's what it's all about, and that's where it is. And you know, you just you have to do that. You know, because if I need a cigar and I want one right now, or I want to grab one and go to a lounge like hers, uh, I just have to be able to drive there, grab it, and go. You know, I don't want to wait. I don't want to do mail order. I don't want my stuff to be sitting in the, hey, what's it, Chris? Oh, man, I got some people showing up this morning. I'm juiced. But, you know, being able to go to people and grab some stuff and grab some good stuff is where it's at. Much rather support a local B&M and be there for them and help them pay their bills. Say, you know what, guys, you know, you bitch about your roads, you bitch about your infrastructure, you bitch about that. Well, if you're not supporting locals, then you're not helping. You're not solving the problem. You know what I mean? Because that tax money that they pay in on what they're selling and what they're doing helps with that and gives your cities more money and gives them the ability to have, you know, better roads and better this and better that. You know, so when you're buying stuff online all the time, that gives it somebody else. And you're not dumping money into your own community to help yourself out. So start doing that. You know, start showing people that you love them and build these relationships. And Cassie, I sent you that thing last night from when I was on Rise and Grind show. I was talking about you, and I was talking about uh, you know, really love your shop. I go there quite a bit. Like I was telling I didn't even come in and buy anything because I didn't really need anything. I came in and bought Espinosa Crema from your dad on Tuesday, and you know, it was just like, you know, I just wanted to rap with you and just say hey, and I told the story on Marvin's show about, you know, this gal in her shop is so amazing right here, the cigar room in Lee Summit, Missouri. Um, it's my favorite human in this entire city. You know what I mean? And it's not a great big thing. It's not like an outlaw. It's not like this and that. But you know what is great is her, and the fact that she never ceases to amaze me. Cigars she brings to her shop. You know what I mean? And it's like stuff that I'm like, I didn't think I could ever have. Like, she hooked me up with some Amazon basins, you know, and she's hooked me up with some Atabays, and she's hooked me up with some Polk stuff. And her and I talk, and we just do our thing. And I give her lots of cigars, and not because I have to, not because I want anything from her, but just like, man, these are cigars that I really like. I want you to try. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about is build those relationships, with your local B&Ms and know them, and they'll take care of you. They will, and she does. And I am just so so happy that I have a humidor that is that close to my. It's literally right around the corner from where I work. So a lot of the times I will take my lunch break and just go in and bullshit with her and buy some cigars and hang out in her shop. It's just fantastic. But anyway, happy Sunday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I got to tell you that, I'm really actually glad that the Chiefs are coming out of things, and then I don't have to chase that hype. And I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl today. I got a bunch of goodies. I got some V's meatballs and V's sauce. It's a local Italian joint, and I got some Smokies, and I got some cheese dip. Blah blah blah. But I may not eat much, and I'll tape it just to get the ads, the commercials. That's my favorite thing. And hats off to my buddy Chris. So Chris is a fellow smoker, and um, I've given him some cigars and a little humidor thing. But Chris has got me into pipe smoke. You know what I mean? He's been smoking pipe for a long time, and he's got a buddy of his that lives out in Vegas, and he's hooked me up with some really great pipe tobaccos. And he was the husband of my fellow sister, sister of choice that I went to high school with. Hello, Dana. And we just hang out and we do our tobacco thing. We share with each other, and it's really been a great experience. But I'm just happy to be here on a Sunday and actually be doing my own live stream rather than being on somebody else's. Hey, Toby. So let me tell you about Toby. You know, um, Toby's a friend of mine, and I've sent him some. Toby sent me some of the first Cuban cigars I've ever had. He didn't have to. I sent him a Dunbarton cigar bomb, and because I love Steve Saka stuff. I really do. It's one of my favorites. I've shared that cigar with a lot of people, and so I sent Toby some stuff, and he sent me the cigar bomb that had all these cigars, had a bunch of Cuban flips, and I'm talking like H. Upman's, Cohibas. He sent me a Partagas Series D number 4, which has been the best cigar I've ever smoked. Thank you for that, Toby. And just glad to have you on the show this morning, Brandon. Because, you know, man, you know. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for fixing me up because I don't even have my head on straight this morning. I'm like sleep deprived and can't even think this morning. But I got the mic on. Can you hear me now? Is everything all good with the sound and whatever? Good morning to you, my brother. Um, thanks for being here. Thanks, Cassie. Uh, I can't say enough about this lady. I can't say enough about how much I love her humidor. being able. And she's got this little parking spot that's out front of her place that's like a loading zone. So I'm like in my work truck, and half the time I can't ever find any place to park that big son of a bitch. But I'll pull it up in there and turn the hazards on like I'm not unloading, I'm loading. So I'm going in and I'm stocking up on cigars and taking them out and putting them in my truck. And I just park there every time. Um, it's it's all good. And I've been I've been going to a lot of places and I've been showing off a lot of cigar humidors and their lounges and this, that, and another. And so I've been wanting to take some time to really get hers right because the cigar room at Lee Summit is my absolute favorite place in Kansas City to get cigars. They always have great stuff. They always, and she is just so personable. You know what I mean? And is always keeping me up on industry lingo, and she's always keeping me up on like how certain uh, cigar companies are doing their stuff, but we're also keeping up with each other on, hey, you know what? Facebook just disrecommended me and is not giving my stuff anymore because I said this and I said this and I said this and I said this. And it's like, you know, and we even had the conversation the other day about how um, certain people's cigar channels are going in and they're rewatching videos that they've already posted, and YouTube's AI has gone in and changed some of their backgrounds and changed some of their stuff without their permission, and that kind of stuff we need to stop that. We need to get that on the down low and just not allow that to happen because it's freedom of speech. It's our right as Americans to do what we want and post what we want. And YouTube has just kind of turned the cigar community into the devil. The devil. You know, my mama says cigars is the devil. That kind of shit. We ain't doing that. We're not going to do it. But anyway, I'm really glad that everybody's here with me today. I've had some good times on some lives and doing some stuff, and the people that I really want to be here are here. My brother Terry, that just moved down to Arizona, starting a new life. Getting away from bad marriage and just been through a season in hell in his life, and he's down there and he's sharing with me these nature walks that he's going on up in the mountains and doing all this stuff. And it just does my heart good to know that people that I love are doing well, you know. And I I didn't really know. I don't really have any specific topics or anything that I want to talk about on this live stream, but I want to start doing it, and and having people join me and having people be part of this to be a voice, to be able to talk about things and talk about cigars freely, and cancel me. I don't care. Do whatever you need to do. I don't think YouTube is going to go that far with things, but there's some things in this community that needs to be addressed. There are some things that we all have to go through, and you know, my brother Roy with the Puff Brothers, he knows what it is. He knows how everything is with the cigar community, and he posts content that what he really posts is he goes to a lot of events, different cigar places that are doing events, and he'll take his crew there and they go and they enjoy and they They smoke and they camaraderise with other people in the community that they don't even know. And I'm really happy that that Roy is doing that and sharing it with me. You know, he goes somewhere and he like he sends me a text, and and I wish I could go there. And unfortunately, a lot of the times when he's there, um, I'm a little deep into, some alcohol, and I don't feel like driving through 7 jurisdictions to get to where he's at, because I got to go through 4 cities and 2 counties and, highway patrol on the way there and on the way back. And I'm just too old for that shit. I'm not getting another DOI. I'm not doing that. I've only had one, and I took it for somebody else. I was with this gal and we were party buddies, and we used to go. She was a waitress at Red Robin when we met her, and she always took really good care of us. And my wife knew her, and we all hung out. And so we went to this other buddy of mine's house, and we had a little mushroom party. So we all ate some mushrooms, and then I drank like a fifth of some absolute vodka in about 40 minutes, which is probably like y'all drinking like 2 gallons, but I was doing my thing and whatever. And she was like, "Oh, we got to go to Quick Trip and get this beef jerky. This is the best beef jerky ever, and whatever." And so we drive up there, and I'm in wet swim trunks and nothing else. No shirt, no shoes, whatever. We all get up there, and nobody's got any money. Nobody has no plastic. Nobody has no cash. And so she's like zooming back to the house so we can get some money. And she pulls in front of this truck that's doing 50 miles an hour down this hill, and bam, just pop. I had an angel on my shoulder that night, because if I'd have been 6 inches ahead of where I was, I'd be dead right now. You know what I mean? And it just pushed that car over to the side and threw us off the rail. And then she's like, "Oh my God, Sean, I, I don't even have a license. My license is suspended, and I've got multiple DUIs. And if they get me, I'm going to prison." You know, and of course, I'm Captain America. I'm on mushrooms and I'm drunk as shit. And I'm like, "Oh, save her," you know. So I jump in the driver's seat, and I'm thinking, well, my lawyer will fix it, and we'll just tell him I wasn't driving, and yada, yada, yada. Well, that's not the case. You know what I mean? If you admit to it, then it's your shit, and I literally lost my CDL for a year and thousands of dollars. And she's like, that night when all that happened, she's like, "I'm gonna throw a shit ton of money your way, and I'm gonna," because she was trying to be appreciative for what I did for her. And then, 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there, and I always had to hunt her down, and then I always had to go to her house to pick up the money, and she basically barely covered my lawyer fees, and then all the rest of that was on me. You know what I mean? So that was one of those things, one of those life lessons learned where I was like, God, why did I do that? You know what I mean? But it's okay. We all make mistakes, and we all have to learn from them and live from them. But I sure in the hell ain't ever gonna take a DUI for somebody else, and I sure in the hell ain't gonna get one driving back and forth to uh, a cigar lounge. Especially when I got the Death Star. You guys check out my channel, look at it, see my Death Star, see how it's progressed, and it's a good space, and it's a place that my wife doesn't really care too much about what's going on, and she allows me to do my thing, and I appreciate it. I appreciate what I've built and what I'm doing with it. So anyway, hope you guys are smoking something good today. I'm sitting here talking so much, my cigar is kind of gone. But let's get it going. I love this lighter. This thing, it's from Hacksmith. It's one of their saber lighters, and it's really cool. It does a good job getting it lit right now. Hey, so look who we have in the house with us. We have Ray from Ray's Cigar Lounge. Good morning, brother. Had a really great time on your show last night. I think we rolled for about 4 hours, and everything was good. And Hawkeye, I know I was a little hard on you last night, buddy, and but I just, I wanted you to be part of what we were doing, and you kind of bailed out, and so I was a shook. So forgive me for that, but it just came from the place of I just wanted you to be there. I wanted you to be because you haven't been on Ray's show for a minute, and then you just kind of disappeared on us. So anyway, that's all good. Good to have Ray here. It's good to have friends here, people, and Cassie. I can't get into the depths of how much I appreciate you, and your humidor is not the biggest one in town, but like I said, it is my favorite. Because you have a little something for everyone all the time. You have something for somebody like me. I've got hundreds of cigars in my humidor, and the things that I'm hunting is like, the Opus and Amazon Basin and the Atabay and the this and the that. And it's just so surprising to me that I pop in your shop and you got and I know right where to look because you put it right there at that end cap, and I'm just like, wow, you never cease to amaze me. You never not have anything that I don't want to buy. Rarely do I come in your shop and not spend some money because you've got great sticks and you have good cigars uh, all across the board in everything that I like. And I need to get up there. I need to like do a podcast from your lounge. You got a great lounge that I haven't even taken advantage of yet, and I need to. And I see all the guys that are coming up and they're getting pops and they're doing whatever, and then they go back and smoke. Well, I need to go hang out with those fellows. And okay, so her shop, it's called the Cigar Room, and it's in Lee Summit, Missouri, Mr. Cash. It's on Third Street. It's real easy to find, and I would imagine that if you would, touch base with her or whatever. I mean, she doesn't really have like an online presence or whatever, but the next time that I go there, I'm going to. There you go. Hey, Chris, what's up, brother? Chris, Cassie's husband is here with me as well, and man, they're some great people, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the conversations that we have together, and you know, but I'll go. Anytime, guys, that I go into a local humidor and I film and I do something, if you see something that you want that you can't get, uh, or you have to pay shipping or do whatever, blah blah blah. I'd be happy to purchase those sticks for you and send them to you, and then you know what I mean. You can just donate to the channel or whatever, or Venmo me some money or whatever. But it's like that's part of this community too. Is we all have to we all have to help one another find the cigars that we want, because not every local has everything that you want. And so that's why, like, I travel around and I try to show other humidors, and I try to show what their inventory is and what people are smoking in those areas. But if you ever see anything that you want, just get in contact with me and I'll be happy to pick you up some and ship them to you. Um, yeah, Cassie, we do. It's always fun stuff, and I do so love your place. And I'm glad that it's right around the corner from my work. So it's like I said, I literally can just take my lunch break and go hang out with her and rap, and it's all good. But she has a loyal base. She has people that come in there on a regular basis, and they enjoy her lounge, and they sit there and smoke and enjoy. And that's what I want to share with next is that community, that part of your shop. Because I've just been in the buying part of it. I haven't really gone back and enjoyed the lounge, and I need to do that sometime. I need to just after I get off, I need to just come grab a stick and go back in the lounge, sit and chill with people and get their vibe and talk with them, talk with your loyal patrons. And, then we'll figure out a video. We'll figure out something that we can put on here and do our thing. That would be awesome for me. But, like I said, I was talking on another live stream last night about how I'm always sharing cigars with you, and I don't do it because I want anything from you. Um, I do it because it's like that's what the cigar community is supposed to be about. The cigar community is supposed to be about, just helping one another out, um, introducing one another to good sticks, because like her and I have had this conversation so many times that there's so many of these like new boutique, uh, cigar places that come in and they want this and they want that and they do this and they do that, and they charge a premium for their shit, and they don't have cigar factories. You know what I mean? So it's like they're paying, Placencia and Fuente and everybody else to make these cigars for them and ship them to them, and then they have to mark them up so much because they're just trying to make some money off of them. And then when the bottom line is really set, they're not that great. They're not worth that money. And we had these conversations, and okay, so you did get to check out the drum rooms. Yeah, so my brother Kevin has been a drummer his whole life, Chris, and he knows. Like I said, he's had some like AOTs. He's had all kinds of drums, and but you can see the love that he has for it. You can see uh, how much percussion. He's not a drummer. He's a percussionist. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you did get to watch that, because that was part of the reason why I posted it for on there. Was I wanted you to see it, because we had that conversation about how you used to be in Nashville and how you know a lot of people, and you've got a drum set that was used at the Super Bowl halftime show and all that. And yeah, he's a real musician, and he has met these people. Like I said,
Columbine High School, 1980, and this was before all the shootings and all that crap. Louis Belson came to that high school to do a drum clinic, and Kevin got to sit down with a legend and play his kit and be taught jazz technique and everything by Louis Belson, you know, and it's just insane, the fact that he was able to do that, and this was before all the shootings and all that stuff. And I got to tell you all this, so it's like in the same community. So I went to a junior high that was called Deer Creek Junior High. It was a seventh grade center. Period. That's all there was. There was seventh graders, but that school fed Columbine with students. And in 1980, we had this kid. His name was Jason Rocha, and he came to school with a 38 revolver and killed two students and two teachers. Shot them. Bam, 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 bam. And so I've actually lived through that. I've actually been in a situation where it's like a live shooter thing, and teachers would just like, get out of here, get across the street, blah, 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 go home if you can, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And I remember coming back and that night and seeing the blood and looking at the carnage, and because one of the custodians was I talked to him a lot, and he was just like, "Yeah, dude, this is some heinous shit," And maybe it's something in the air, maybe it's the lack of air, you know, but I don't know. I went through that and I dealt with that. Uh, that was uh, that was a pretty bad time. And I was playing trumpet at the time. I've been in music. I started out as a saxophonist when I was young, and then I went to the trumpet. And yeah, I was in band when that happened, and they kicked us all out. And but yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It's just kind of one of those deals where it's just like you just never know what's going to happen, and then you never know what you got to deal with. But I I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about human kindness. I learned a lot about helping people out, because there were some people that were friends of mine that were literally right there and got sprayed with the shit. It was just it was not good. It was not a good situation. It was not a good time. But anyway, so let's get back to talking cigars. Um, I've even got my man Simon. You know, he's always here with me. He's doing good things. What are you thinking about this cigar,
It
buddy?
is absolutely brilliant, my man. It is absolutely brilliant, my man. This stick is absolutely
He
decadent.
don't. He don't want to say nothing. Cat's got his tongue. Yeah, you're welcome, Chris. Chris and I have spent a lot of time together. We've shared a lot of things. We've shared a lot of tobacco. And I'm glad that I've gotten to know him, because, like I said, I don't know much of nothing about pipes. I don't know much about any of that kind of stuff. And I like it every once in a while, because a cigar is always it's a commitment of time. You have to set out a block of time to enjoy a cigar. And I don't always have that, but I can throw some tobacco in a bowl and smoke it up and do whatever. And and enjoy that, So thank you, Chris, for being there with that. And so Terry, uh, kind of share with everybody what you've been doing since you started your new venture down there in Arizona. What's been the greatest thing for you about moving down there? Yeah, I did, Ray. I played saxophone. I played trumpet. In fact, I played the trumpet with braces, you know, and chewed the shit out of my mouth, to do it. But I was in the marching band at Wichita Northwest High School, and I was in the jazz band, and yeah, I love my music, and I love me like some Miles Davis. I love me like some Bird. I love Chick Corea. Just a lot of that old school jazz and a lot of that music that people were just being willy nilly with. You know what I mean? And yeah, so Terry's like being back out in nature, yeah, because there isn't much in Wichita, Kansas. It's an old dead seabed, you know, that is flat for miles, and there ain't really nothing there. So he's able to go and do some hikes and uh, be someplace beautiful, compared to where he's used to. And good for you for that, brother, because that's, I try to get out. The most I get out like that is like I'll go fishing, I'll get my boat out and I'll go do some crappie fishing or I'll do some cat fishing or whatever. But it's, you know, there again to be in nature like I want to be, I got to drive 2 3 hours down to like where my sister is, and in Warsaw, so be down there on their farm, be down there south of the dam, and catch fish and do whatever. Well, and something else that I want to share with you guys uh, about my good friends Cassie and Chris that own the cigar room. So I've been to cigar shops that are like close to me, and they just are pretentious and elitist. And if I don't want to smoke what they're smoking, then they make me feel like shit, you know. And hey, Chef Matt is in the house. What is up, my brother? So, Chef Matt is somebody that I met online, and he lives down in Texas. And Chef Matt and I have sent some cigar bombs back and forth with each other, and and talked a lot. And another person that I met on this cigar realm, this cigar platform that I have, and glad to see you here, bro. I know that he's trying to get a little bit healthy and do the health thing, which I'm trying to do as well. But I'm not going to give up my sticks. You know what I mean? I'll give up, mushrooms and acid and whatever because I'm just too old for that shit anymore. But yeah, and I do smoke good stuff, you know, and I get them from my good friend Cassie at the cigar room in Lee Summit. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't, you know, I get all these things from Luxury Cigar, and I get all these things from Small Batch Cigar, and I get all these texts from this and that and another, and it's like I don't, I don't need to buy shit from y'all. You know what I mean? Because anything that I could possibly want and hope for, I have at my local place, the Cigar Room in Lee Summit, and I'm good. You know, I am totally, totally good, and I don't need to go anywhere else. I don't need to spend that money elsewhere. And uh, you know, you don't have to compare to my collection. You know, and I don't have a collection. I have a selection. You know what I mean? And I want to clear something else up too. It's like everybody talks about cigar aficionado, this, that, and another. You know, like there's something. You know, like there's shit don't stink or whatever. I'm not a cigar aficionado. I am a cigar appreciator. You know what I mean? That's mine. You can coin the phrase if you want to, but yeah, I'm a cigar aficionado. I don't I don't have a collection. I have a selection. I just want to have any kind of cigar that I want, any kind of cigar that I want to share with anybody that comes over to the Death Star and wants to be hanging out and smoking in my lounge and do whatever. And, you know, it just, that's just what it is. And it's what it's about, you know, and, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go to a place where I don't want to be, you know. Uh, I want these local stores to succeed, you know, especially Cassie and Chris's place. I hope you guys know how much I feel that your place is special. You know, I've been rocking your hat all winter, you know, and I tell people about you, and I send coworkers to you, and I'm like, hey, uh, this is the place to go. This is where you need to go to get your stuff. Yeah, because I don't want you to go away. You know what I mean? I don't. I want to support you. I want you to know that I'm there and that I'm going to spend my hard-earned money at your place because you always got great sticks. You always you. And I told you this before, Cassie. It's like you never cease to amaze me. I'll walk in your joint and go back in the humidor, and I'm like, well, looky what the fuck we got here. You know, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, I need 6 of these, or I need 12 of these, or whatever. You know, and you know, it is what it is. But, I'm really enjoying this Espinosa 57 birthday cigar. It's really good, and I don't know. So Terry's I've been coming out here for 5 years. Love Jerome, Arizona. You want a you want a good hey, you guys too. Um, I know you gotta go to work, you gotta do your thing. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for feeding me good sticks and thanks for everything that you do. And of course I'm always gonna give you kind words because I love you, I love your shop, and I'm always gonna pimp for you because you treat me right. So have a good day at the shop and do your thing. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Peace. Always a good getaway at the Verde Valley. It is an amazing place to visit. Well, I want to come down and visit you sometime soon. You know, I really do. Brother Chris, wanted to drop in and see what you were up to, man. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm gonna go get this workout in. Wish me luck. Yeah, I wish you pain. because that's what a workout is all about, is a lot of pain and whatever. But you're doing your healthy thing, and I respect that. I'm trying to take some cues on that and do the same thing, and try to just get a little bit healthier because I'm older, and I can't drink like I used to. I can't party like I used to because my old body says no. My old body says hell no. Um, and I just I'm trying to do, like, I got this old man chair workout that it's like an app, and it's like you work out with a chair. you know, that's more my speed. That's more my shit because I used to work out in the gym and pump some hellish shit. In fact, when I was in high school and I was maxing on squats, nobody else could work out because I had every single 45-pound plate on the bar, wah, 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 and nobody else could work out, but they were all watching me lift my shit because it was like 680 pounds I was squatting when I was in high school. And nowadays it's like, yeah, I'll do a little bit of shit on some chair, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'll try to eat better and not, I'm off the whiskey. Can't do the whiskey anymore. It just gets me in trouble and does things. I just, it is what it is. Uh, well, I'd love to come down and hang out with you and have you show me around. You're my brother. I know all I got to do is get there, and you'll take care of the rest. You'll put me up, you'll feed me, you'll show me the places, you'll do whatever. And yeah, I wanna come down there. I want to see what you got going on in Jerome. I want to see how magnificent it is because I see the pictures that you post when you're doing your hikes and you're doing everything, and it's a pretty cool deal. So we'll have to make that happen, Terry, at some point. So here's another topic that I want to kind of get into. I didn't really want to, but um, we talked about this on a couple of the other live streams that I did this week, and I want to talk about hype, and how certain content creators are always generating hype around cigar brands and cigars that aren't necessarily that great, and they are proponents for them. And they push this agenda of, oh my God, you got to have these. If you don't have these, you ain't shit, you know, like that. And no, we ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Um, so everybody that's a cigar smoker that's on here, um, just share what your favorite cigar is, and even if you're not a cigar smoker, just uh, we'll recommend you something. We'll recommend you something to get into the deal and see what it's all about. But I'm over all this cigar room shit where people are like, "Oh man, if you don't have this, you ain't shit," and this is this and that. Because I bought all those cigars and I've made those mistakes. I have literally spent thousands of dollars stocking my shit up with stuff that just I think it's an okay cigar, just kind of neat. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of with all that. Uh, and this Espinosa knuckle sandwich. So this is a Guy Fieri thing, and he's pushing his whatever. I've had several, not necessarily his knuckle sandwich stuff, but like Espinosa crema. That's a good one for a breakfast cigar, and really enjoy that. I don't know, but this Guy Fieri birthday thing that he does, he's 57 years old. This is, this is a really good cigar. It's really complex. And I love a box press. I don't care what the fuck you got going on. I love a box press cigar. I don't know why. Like, that's why I like to smoke the EP Carrillo Encore Majestics and Pledges because they're all box press cigars and they're really good. Yeah. So Terry says, I like with anything, it always comes down to money. Well, here's the deal, Terry. You don't have to spend a shit ton of money on cigars. Um, Money is the tool, not the goal. Exactly. So we don't have to spend a shit ton of money on cigars. We don't have to do that. There's a lot of good cigars that are affordable. And that's why this community needs to grow, and that's why this community needs to flourish because we need to influence one another into, hey, I found an $8 cigar that is the fucking bomb diggity, and this is what it is, you know. And I'm trying to do the same thing, because I've gotten caught up in the trap of, hey, I need this cigar and it's $20 cigar, it's a $38 cigar, it's a $40 cigar, it's a 75 fucking dollar cigar. And it's okay, but it ain't 75 fucking dollar cigar. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of really good alternatives out there, Terry, that you can get into and just like I did with Dink. Send me your address. I will send you a beginner cigar bomb pack that you can take, and I'll tell you what to smoke first and tell you what to smoke last. And it's I can't tell you how rewarding it is. I can't tell you how much I love being able to smoke a cigar and just chill and do my thing. Uh, you'll get it. You will. You know, yeah, right on, exactly. Just uh, there's so many good, and do we old motherfuckers, dude? You know me, I know you. Terry and I used to. When I met Terry, we was working at Sabaro's Pizza in the Town East Mall, and we was slinging pizza and we was doing shit, and like the weekends was a motherfucker because it was always like we had to have all this pizza dough ready and all this pasta ready and all this plated up shit ready to go out. And we kind of did our thing, and we hoogied around, and we'd go run back in the fucking in the walk-in, and we'd have a fucking weed pipe up on top of the thing, and we'd take some puffs and smoke some weed and get through the day, as best we could, you know. And but we would also like at the end of the day, when we uh, needed to get rid of the rest of the stock, if you will, we would throw out a whole line of pizzas and just be like dollar a slice, $5 a whole pie, just to like help the people out that had children, that had mouths to feed. And it was shit we was gonna throw away anyway. You know what I mean, right, Terry? And so we would just put all this out there and we would help the masses. And we would be like, yeah, go feed your kids something wholesome. Yeah. Well, pizza's not that wholesome. I mean, give me a fucking break. It's a caloric interlude. But anyway, so we would like throw pizzas out there, dollar a slice, $5 for a whole pizza, just so we didn't have to throw that shit in the trash. And we knew that people was going to buy it and take it home and feed themselves and feed their kids and do what they needed to do. And we felt good about it. You know what I mean? Because we weren't being wasteful. We weren't doing whatever. And then after all that, then it was our time to go party. It was our time to go to the cab company and go hang out and do whatever after a long day, whatever. But we felt good about what we did with, feeding some people and sharing some things with some people and allowing them to, you know, give their family some options that they might not normally have had because our shit was expensive. If you would have came through the line and bought one slice, it would have been like $3-4 for one slice. And we're selling a whole pie for $5. You know, and like I said, it wasn't because we was being greedy. It was because yeah, here he is. Yeah, I think it's time for a trip to the freezer. Yeah, I wish I could, Jerry. I wish I could because I have to drive for my company now, and I can't smoke no bud. I wish I. You know how much I love my shit. You know me, and I just can't fucking do it. But those was fun days. We go back there, and then I'll always have a sealed pipe with some bud in it and put it up there, and we'd go back. And anybody that was there, we'd go back and fucking hit that fucking bud and go back out and do our thing. And it made us better salesmen. It made us better chefs. It made us better every fucking thing. You know what I mean? We always had great, great, great time doing what we did and serving the people and all that. Right? Yeah, Marshmallow OG. Yeah, you know. I remember going back into the walk-in, Terry, and taking so we were a New York company and they had like these cheesecakes. And I remember going back in the walk-in and taking a whole fucking piece of fucking cheesecake and just shoving a whole bitch in my mouth and eating it and going back out and doing my thing. You remember those days? And we had like the chocolate cake and we had the this and the that, but that cheesecake was just shit. I probably pounded down about 15 million more than I should have, uh, you know. But yeah, it was all good. Everything was good, and man, I wanted to do this live, and I wanted to be here, and I didn't even know if anybody would show up, but I want to thank each and every one of you that's here, supporting me and giving me some love. Got 7 people in here watching right now, and I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for showing me some love. And it don't matter. We don't have to. Yeah, yeah. It's the funnest job that you ever had. Me too, Jerry. It was the funnest job that I ever had. But I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in here and being with me and letting me do my live thing. Here I am in the control room of Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. I'm always trying to do that shock thing. I'm always trying to show you all that my production value is far above anything anybody else is doing. You know, and that's where I'm at. Yeah, but you know, uh, I'm enjoying this Espinosa knuckle sandwich 57. And I ain't talked for a damn uh, puffed on this for a minute because I've been talking, and it's still smoking. That's the note of a good cigar is you can set it down for 15, 20 fucking minutes and then pick it back up and it's still lit. Yeah. That to me is shows greatness and great construction and every fucking thing, you know. But so anyway, I'm going to move on to a little bit of a different topic. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sure that a lot of you are going to watch the game for the game, or you're going to watch the game for the commercials. That's where I'm at right now. I just want to see the commercials. I want to see what the fuck they have to put out there because it's usually pretty funny. And with my Chiefs not being in the midst of it for the first time in years, I'm okay with that. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm okay. And I got my shit set up. So I got these meatballs, and I got some little smokies, and I got some cheese dip, and everything that Super Bowl Sunday should be about, even whether I watch the game or not. Um, I'm more happy just to be here with y'all. I'm more happy just to be rapping, talking cigars, being in the Death Star, and smoking and doing my shit. And I'm really happy that all y'all have showed up. You uh, I didn't even know if anybody was going to be here, and now I've got like 7 people watching after an hour of being into this. And thank each and every one of you. You know what I mean? And because of that, because you all are here, and I did this last night. Everybody that types hashtag chunky CHUNKY into the chat right now, I'm going to send you a great cigar because I appreciate you being here, because I appreciate what you're doing and being here for me. So hashtag chunky, type it in the chat, and then I'll get with each and every one of you individually and get your address. And I will send you a premium cigar. You know what I mean? 'Cause you don't have to be here. You don't have to be watching me. You know what I mean? Really, you know, you don't. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the fact that I at least have a core group of people that are appreciating me and support my channel. People like my brother Terry, and people like my brother Chris, and and Ray's Cigar Lounge, and my buddy Chef Matt. The people that I've already left. Of course, they're going to miss out on the shit, but it's all good. You know, it is what it is. And but the people that are here that are enjoying my show right now and making me feel good and making me feel alive, just put a hashtag Chunky out there, and I'm gonna send you something really good, and you'll be surprised. Oh shit, he'll hook you up. Yeah. Hey, there we go, Ryan Sims. Ryan, thanks for being on the show. I know you've been around some of the other lives that I've done, and I appreciate you being here right now, brother, and just hanging out with me. And yeah, maybe you'll be the only one, and you'll get all the shit, because nobody else is doing hashtag chunky right now. So maybe you'll just get it all, and maybe that's something that's going to show me too that the people that love me and the people that support my channel, um, because I do want to take care of y'all. You know, I got fuck tons of cigars. I got more shit than I could uh, ever think about smoking. So I got lots of stuff to share. You know, and so here we got Mom Rabbit Everything. I'm a first time listener and I am watching your. So, Ray, what I'm smoking on now, brother, is I'm smoking the Espinosa um, Guy Fieri birthday cigar. This is the 57, which came out last year. And this is a really, really good stick. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you coming. Check out my channel. Check out some of the stuff that I'm doing. Um, I'm not your average bear. Says Yogi Bear. I I do things a little different around here. Um, to me, this is more about community than anything else, and I'm always sharing places that I go, cigar lounges that I go to, cigar humidors that have great stuff. Um, I'm not here to, I don't have an agenda. You know what I mean? I'm not here to pimp you or sell you on certain cigars or this, that, and another. And yeah, so you was on Ray's show last night with us for 4 hours, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but I couldn't, because I did Marvin's Rising Ryan show on Friday, and then I did Ray's, and then it was just one of those things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ray, people love you. I love you. I wouldn't have been there if I didn't love you. I wouldn't have come on your show if I didn't love you. I appreciate the fact that I was your first guest, just like I was Marvin's first guest. You know what I mean? And we didn't have no agenda. We didn't have no bullshit. We just were there and we were uh, doing our thing and talking. And like I said, I got to give a little bit of love back to Hawkeye because I was really hard on him last night. But I was really disappointed that he bailed out on us because I like him a lot, and I wish that he would have been in the conversation with us more than he was. And that's all that's about, brother. You know what I mean? All that shit I said last night and everything. I missed you. And you haven't been on Ray's show for a minute, and then you come in, and then you get cold, and you go in, and you was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on." You didn't even text with us. You didn't do nothing. So out of that is on you, okay? But I still love you, and I ain't tripping. And I look forward to the next time that we're in Ray's Cigar Lounge and we're hanging out, and you're there 100% of the time, bro. Right, Ray? But yeah, so thanks for joining us last night. Thanks for joining me now. You know, I I haven't done any live streams before. This is my first one, and just the fact that I have several people in here that are hanging out with me, they're engaging, they're talking with me, and that's all it matters to me. You know, it's Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of shit going on. A lot of people probably having parties and putting out spreads and doing this, that, and another. Now, me, I could give two shits. You know, my old lady and I are probably going to watch, you know, the last episode of Heartland on Netflix, and we're going to probably watch, you know, Bridgerton. Shit that I watch with my wife because I just absolutely love it. You know? Is this Hawkeye that's talking to me right now, Ray? Is this Ryan Sims Hawkeye? Well, if it is, I get that. You know, um, yep, yep. Okay. Well, I get that, but let me tell you this, brother. Don't fucking don't come in and say you're going to be part of the extravaganza and whatever when you got to dip out. That was very disappointing to me, and I get it. I don't give two fucks. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you shit because I really enjoy your commentary and I really enjoy you being there with Ray when he's doing his shit. And I was hoping he was going to be there with me last night through the whole fucking thing, you know, and you didn't, you know, and that's why I'm fucking flicking you on the fucking ball sack because I wish that you would have been there. I wish that you would have made the effort to be there with us. And if you didn't want to be, then don't say that you're going to. You know what I mean? Don't set me up to be fucking disappointed, brother. That's all I'm saying. Because I missed you last night. I really wanted you to be there. I wanted you to be part of what we were doing, and you weren't. You know. Terry says, I didn't know it was Super Bowl Sunday until you said something on here. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck because Chiefs ain't playing. And yeah, I got food. You know me, Terry. You know how I do food. I get that, Hawkeye. I get it. I get that you were there and you tried to stay, but man, you weren't there for very fucking long. You know. I really had some questions for you. I had shit written down that I wanted to ask you specifically on last night's show, and you were gone. So that kind of threw half the shit that I had to fill the show with out the window because you weren't there. And that's all I'm saying is, hey, we're all human beings. We all work. We all took the note. We all you know, do the fucking deal for the man, you know, and I get that, but I really, I really wanted to engage with you more, and I guess I'm a little butthurt because you weren't there and because you didn't engage with me more than you did, and that's why I'm fucking giving you shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because I'll be there next week and I'll be there whenever the fuck, and then we'll do that talk then. You know what I mean? Because I love being on Race Cigar Lounge. I love hanging out with y'all. Love what we do. And it don't matter if there's two fucking people in there or if it's just the three of us. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Because every time I go in, always have good conversations. We always talk about great cigars. We always are sharing, and like last night, we were all smoking the same cigar. Ray called me and it was like, "Hey, what's this and what's that?" Because my intention was to be like, when I knew I was going to be on Ray's show, I wanted to send out cigars from my collection, my selection that we could just all smoke together, you know. And when he made his mind up that he wanted me to be on the show, it was a little too late for that. But y'all went to the local and it was like, okay, what are we gonna do with it? Well, yeah, let's do this. I've got a Perdomo 10th anniversary Churchill. Let's go. Because you was able to find that at your local Ray, and you too was gonna smoke that with me, and then I don't know, if you just had a Marlboro and a fucking smile or whatever, but dude, you bailed out on us early. And that's all I'm saying, you know. And it's not that I'm not going to come and watch you again. And it's not that I'm pissed at you, you know what I mean, for being a human being and being fucking tired, because I know what that shit's all about, honestly, I do, So, but next time, Hawkeye, when we do some shit and we gonna do some shit, if you don't show up, I'm gonna drive down to motherfucking Alabama and I'm gonna flick you on your fucking nutsack. You know, get get with the program, right, Ray? Uh, I ain't fucking, I ain't mad at a motherfucker, but I'm not gonna do that shit. Man, and I'm a goddamn, I'm a goddamn. Cigarette smoking motherfucker. I hate him. And, you know, but I got to do what I got to do. Yeah, bring it. And I am, and I love you, bro. And I ain't tripping, but I was really looking forward to engaging with you. You know what I mean? Because you got shit to say. You're an intelligent fucking human being, and your knowledge of sports and your knowledge of the things that you have is the shit that I felt like the show was lacking last night because you didn't engage. And that's all I'm fucking saying. You know what I mean? And I'll be back. I will be. I will be back, and I will hang out with you guys. I'm there no matter what. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I have to be on the fucking show, but I'm still in the chat and I'm still engaging with you guys, and I'm still, uh, camaraderizing with y'all during all this, and just a good thing. So get your shit together, for next time. Go take a fucking nap like us old motherfuckers do. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, when I knew I was going to get on Ray's show at 10:30, that ended up being, hey, there we go. Get on the hashtag chunky, man, if you want some sticks. Hashtag chunky right now. Mr. Cash is the only one. He's going to get them, you know. But you know what I mean. You know, I had to take a nap. I slept for like 4 hours before I got on Ray's show because I knew I would be fucking dead. I would be mincemeat, you know. And yeah, by the time y'all got in there, everything was good. We was almost 11 o'clock, and I'm I didn't have no coke to bump. I didn't have no shit to keep me up. I was drinking some coffee, and thank God I had that. It got me through. But we had a good time last night. We're having a good time right now, and I appreciate you being on the show. And I appreciate everything. And Mr. Cash, dude, uh, I'm always seeing you in Marvin's live streams, and you're always there, and you're always engaging. And it is my honor to have you as a guest on my show. You know, um, yeah, I was kind of crying when I was saying that because that that fact that my son bought that car for his mother touched my heart. It I I can't explain it. Um I can't tell you how wonderful that felt and how much I appreciated that my son loves his mama enough to buy her a $35,000 car and pay for it because he appreciates the fact that he lives in my house, you know? And yeah, so thank you for that because that was a real moment. That was something for me that meant something. That was something that touched my heart, and it always will be, because my kid is fucking dynamite. I have never had to, uh, like I said last night, he said the F word to his mama one time, and I spanked his little ass. But other than that, he has been a joy, and he has been a guiding light in my life, and he has done so many things. Um, that was just like, wow. I feel like I did my job as a father. I feel like, I was there and I gave him everything that he needed to be a good human being and to be a good member of society, you know, and, you know, it just, man, I can't tell you how awesome that was. Yeah. All right. So let's talk some cigar shit. You know, we're doing all this touchy feely, whatever, sharing life stories and whatever, but I want to talk some cigar stuff, right? So, cigars that I've been smoking lately that I really enjoy is definition cigars. That is some brothers that live down in Texas. It's some African Americans that started a amazing company, and they have put together some blends that I have grown to love. Uh, Definition Noir, Connecticut. Uh, with the little purple and their bands, dude. Their bands. I want to make a ring out of one of their bands because it's so amazing. And that Definition Connecticut is something that I smoke with a coffee in the morning a lot. Uh, the Definition Noir Cameroon, and those are hard to find. And I don't have any locals that have those. I've had to buy those online. Nobody around here is carrying those. And then that new Definition Neo with that black and gold stretchy band. It's a box press, and I love a box press. Like I said, I smoke a lot of the EP Carrillo Encore Majestics just because it's a box press. I love that Vitola and I love that cigar. And when they put that out, and it was a box press. I was like, yeah, I need to buy like 10 of these. And I still think I've got at least four of them in my humidor, but I've smoked the other six. You know, that's a great cigar. You know, and you've seen my videos of my new Opus humidor that I got for Christmas, and I now have a good resting place for my Opus selection and all of my other little humidors that I have separated out for the Lanceros and the grab box. I love the grab box, because it's always stuff that I know that I like to smoke, and I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna smoke, and I can just reach in there blind and grab a stick out, and it's always good because everything that's in there is good and it's amazing, you know. And when you get really deep into the cigar collecting and you get really deep into trying to organize your sticks and keep them, it helps a lot when you have different humidors to put them in because of what they are. And I've been a huge cigar scanner guy. I don't know if you guys have used that app, but I use it. It catalogs my stuff, and you know, I I stay on top of it. Every time I sit down and have a cigar, I go in there and I'm like, okay, I put this in my uh, what do they call it? They call it the hang on a second, look at it. Um, just the journal, and so I'll throw it in the journal and then I'll delete it out of the thing. Um, you know, uh, keep on top of that because I'm always pulling cigars out. And you've seen my video that's like, is your humidor a train wreck? And if you haven't watched it, because mine always is, because I'm doing a lot more buying than I am smoking, and so I'm always trying to stay on top of what I'm doing and what I got and what I'm smoking, this, that, and another, and it's a chore, you know. And some people don't give a shit. They just got stuff and it's in their thing and whatever. But I, I want to catalog my journey. I want to be able to go back and see, and I put ratings in there of like, hey, this cigar is brilliant and it's on my wish list and I want to buy more, or this thing is a fucking dog turd and I don't ever want to have one ever again. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. And well, of course, Ray, that that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to share stories, and I'm trying to, um, you know, share with people how cigars make me feel. I'm not a reviewer. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these guys that does all this bullshit where it's like, hey, this is the cigar that I'm fucking smoking, and it tastes like this in the first third, and it tastes like this in the second third, and it tastes like this, and it finishes, and it's this. No, I'm over watching that kind of shit. So is other people. Like Marvin and I were talking. Friday night. No, you know what I mean? That is old, dead, beat to death content that I don't even want to watch anymore. You know what I mean? And yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming and hanging out with me and being on my live today. Um, it's yeah, that's it. You know, don't and I bitched about this last night. It's like these fucking people that come on here and they give like 17 fucking tasting notes on the same cigar. Fuck you, fuck your fucking pizza, fuck Frank Sinatra. You know, like Spike Lee said on Do the Right Thing. You know what I mean? I'm not buying that shit. You know, and you don't even cook, and you don't even know what half of these tasting notes are that you're telling that the cigar has. A cigar don't have no damn 17 fucking tasting notes. You know what I mean? Maybe five, maybe six, but I don't give a shit about that. Just like Texas Taurus is talking about right now. Is it phantasmagorical or is it a fucking dog turd? That's all we want to know. You know what I mean? Is it worth me taking my hard earned money that I go out and fucking slave for every fucking day of the week to come home and have a cigar that I want to enjoy? Is it good or is it shit? That's all we want. We don't need all this tasting notes and we don't need all this bullshit that all these content creators are out there throwing at you. And they're doing all this same old lame shit. You know? And I will tell you this too. Um, you know, um, so Ray says, agreed. If you're going to give a review, at least keep it simple enough for people to understand. Yes, don't don't be this snooty crunch motherfucker. You know what I mean? Don't act like you're one of the fucking Davidoffs that are smoking $2,000 cigars and you fucking know the difference. You know what I mean? You're not that guy. You're never going to be that fucking guy. So quit acting like you and then so Texas Source says, do you like Gurkha? So I'll be honest with you, I have not had a lot of Gurkhas, and I have heard that a lot of people bitch about them. A lot of people say that they're not good, they're not this, they're not that. My brother Kevin gave me a Gurkha that was in a glass tube that was like wax dipped and all that shit. And I'm saving that for a special occasion because my brother gave it to me. He got it from his work at a work convention, you know. And I honestly, I've not had a lot of Gurkha stuff, and but a lot of my local humidors don't carry them, And like I said, I'm trying to promote local purchases. I'm trying to get stuff from local B&Ms because I don't want them to go away. I don't want to buy everything online, and if they don't have them, then I'm not going to smoke them. So that's kind of where I'm at. Texas with that is just I don't have access to them. In fact, if you want to hit me up and send me a message. I'd be glad to trade you some of the good stuff that I have for some of the Gurkhas that you feel are good and you like, and I'll just swap you out stick for stick. You know what I mean? And let's just do that. Because I don't have access to Gurkhas. I don't. Uh, I don't know much about them. So if you love them, if that's your jam, and you have something that you recommend, I would be more than happy to try them. And then I'll talk about it. I'll come on a live. I'll get here and I'll do whatever. But I just can't say anything much about them right now because I haven't smoked enough of them. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, oh, they're shit, they're whatever, Gurkha sucks, this, because that's not me being honest because I haven't tried them. So let's set that up. Let's do that. You get with me, and I'll trade you some sticks. You send me the Gurkhas that you like. I will actually smoke them, and I'll share that with people next time when I come up. You know, man, I can't believe it's Super Bowl weekend. Normally I'm like cooking ribs. I got brisket going. I'm doing all this kind of shit because I'm excited because the Chiefs are in the hunt, are in the game, and now we're not. Like I said, my football season has been over with for a minute, and I don't. Uh, I don't even care to think about what's going on today with it. Like I said, I'm going to tape it just so I can watch the commercials, and that's probably about it. But I know some of you guys may have a stake in the game or may have a favorite, and share with me what you're thinking and what your Super Bowl Sunday looks like. Mine just looks like, hey, I'm getting some V's meatballs with some V's sauce and some little smokies and some cheese dip, and my fat ass gets to fucking eat some fucking finger food today, and that's it. That's all I'm looking forward to. And like I said, my wife has been really knocked out with a fucked up tooth and this thing and that thing. Um, I feel bad for her. I've been with her the whole week, and it's kind of run us down. Here I am talking so much, my damn cigar goes out. Um, but so in the comments, share with me what is your favorite brands. Share with me the stuff that would be like, okay, if I could smoke this cigar every day, I'd be happy with that. So, like I said, mine is like the EP Carrillo Encore Majestic. I love what EP Carrillo is doing. I love the fact that they have amazing cigars, and he is a master blender. But the thing I love about the most is he's turned the business over to his daughter, and she is rocking that shit. And she is putting out content. And she is sharing with people their blends. And like I said, that Battleborn box that I bought, those Battleborns are amazing. They are so amazing. It's such a great cigar, you know. So just share with me what you like and what your go-to everyday stick would be, and then we can discuss that or not. You know, you know, when I got into this hobby, here we go. So Ray says, "How much would you pay for a cigar from your favorite brands?" Ray, I'm gonna be upwards. You know what I mean? Because I've had a lot of like $8, $7, $9 cigars that I have not enjoyed. I mean, I would rather have one really good, like 15, $20 cigar than three crappy ones. You know what I mean? That I'm just settling for. And that's kind of where my selection is at. I'm in that $15 to $20 range, because those seem to be the ones that are the best constructed. Those seem to be the ones that um, have love put into them, and those seem to be the ones that I enjoy the most. And I'm not saying that everything's subjective. Y'all do what you want to do. Y'all smoke what you want to smoke. That's your prerogative. That is the beauty of this cigar community thing. You know what I mean? But I'm an old guy. I work hard for a living. I'm doing a 25-year-old man's job at 56 fucking years old. And I also am in the spot where I'm going to probably die at work because I don't see a retirement in my future. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what Social Security pays me or if there's going to even be a fucking Social Security when I get there. Um, I'm going to have to coat the note. I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to fucking bring money into my household every day, no matter what. I don't see a retirement in my future. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm going to die at work like my grandfather did, you know. I don't see a way out. I can't, uh, can't I can't manufacture this thing that it's like, oh yeah, this grandiose fucking exit to your life, and you actually get to enjoy and chill, not having to work so hard and whatever. No, 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 no. You know, there's all these fucking corporate greed suckers that fucking suck every fucking thing out of us. Um, they're going to be fine. We're not, and we won't be, and I'm okay with that, because I'm going to give every last breath and every last drop of blood and everything that I have to make sure that my family is comfortable. You know what I mean? As long as I got some good sticks, which I got plenty, trust me. Yeah, I got plenty. I'm gonna fucking make it. And I'll bitch about it and I'll cry about it, but I'll still do it because I have to. We talked about this on Ray's show last night. It's not the want to, it's the have to, and we have to work. We have to make money. We have to provide for our families. You know, and we don't have companies. If I had a company, maybe it'd be a different story, but I don't. You know, I don't want to work that fucking hard. I want to go to work for somebody that's going to pay me a fair wage for everything that I do for them all day long, and that's where I'm at. And I do have that blessing. Trust me. Working for the Austin Dooley company that I work for, it's a medical company that owns and staffs and facilitates caregiving for paraplegic people. And I mean, I'm talking people that's like, crumpled up, can't wipe their own ass people. You know what I mean? Broke down, genetic uh, misfits, but they're beautiful people. You know what I mean? And when I go do my job, everything that I am and everything that I want to be is about making their life better because they've gotten stuck with a shit sandwich. You know, every time I think, oh, woe is me or whatever, I look at these guys and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? You don't know what it's like to live a miserable existence. And these guys do, and they do all the time. In fact, I'm going to share this story with you. So, there's this one client that lives up north in Liberty at our one of our properties. I won't say that to protect the innocent. But anyway, so he's up there and he's like, his name is Danny, and he's a little crumpled up and he's doing his thing. He's like, you know, will you give me a job? Can I get a job from you? And I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're gonna help me today, because he needed a TV hung in his room, because he hadn't had TV in a long time. So his family bought him a TV, and I was gonna hang it. He's like, well, when are we gonna do that? And I'm like, today. We're gonna do it today. And he's like, will you give me a job? And I'm like, yeah, today. Like hand him screws, hand him things, hand him this, and he would just like he'd grab them and put them down, and I'm like, hold on to that for me, buddy, because I'm gonna need that here in a minute, and then the nurses would come in, and he's like, "You got me a job. I'm gonna work for Sean. He's doing good, and blah blah blah." You know what I mean? And God, it just did my heart so good to be able to actually, take some time out of my day to let this guy come help me hang his TV and do his thing and whatever. And it puts great things into perspective from the fact that it's like, you think you got it bad, you think your shit is bad. Look at these fucking people. Look at how fucked up their lives are. Look how shitty the thing is with them, and and he just wants some attention, and all the attention that he ever got was just wiping his ass, changing his fucking diapers, and putting him in the fucking shower bed and cleaning him up and feeding him, and that's it. That's all he gets. The bare fucking minimum of what he needs. But what he needs is somebody to care about him and somebody to talk to him and somebody to treat him like he's a real human being. Yeah. And so that's what I did. I was just like, yeah, buddy, come on, look, help me with this. We're going to get this done. And every time I come up here, you can be my helper and you can this and you can do, and I'd give him sockets and I would give him a screw gun or I'd give him whatever just so he could grab it and put it down on his little tray on his chair and everything. You know what I'm saying? And eh, I bitch a lot. I bitch a lot at my wife. I bitch a lot at my kids about how shit pisses me off and makes me unhappy and whatever. But then I get around these people and I'm just like, dude, you need to just fucking shut the fuck up, because you got it good compared to these guys. You know what I mean? These are people that have been this way their entire life, and they've haven't been taken care of their entire life. You know, and for me to be able to come in and just be like a dude and treat him like somebody, and and he would smile. He would just smile so much, that somebody was paying attention to him, that somebody cared about him, and somebody, and that just made my heart just blow up, you know. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. But anyway, uh, 2 hours into this thing, we've done some good topics. Still got like 6 people watching me right now. Everybody's chime in with the hashtag chunky. Please, everybody that's watching, just chime in with the hashtag chunky because I want y'all to get this cigar wagon and be able to win something. And Cigars has enriched my life. Cigars has introduced me to some amazing people. Uh, the stuff that I do on my channel is amazing. Yeah, there you go, Ray. Get in on it, you know. And I'll pick a winner here. I'll do a randomizer like everybody else does. I know what it is. Anyway, um, yeah, just for me, this culture, these people that I've met, everything that the cigar world is about is absolutely amazing. And I can't tell you the depths that I'm going to go to, the depths that I'm going to reach into to always give you fresh content, to always, and I'm the only motherfucker in the cigar world that has an AI co-host. I mean, Simon, you know, uh, give me a fucking break, right, Simon? He's like, yeah,
It is absolutely brilliant, my man.
he does his thing. He's here with me. Nobody's doing that shit. Nobody is bringing on an AI co-host or whatever. You know, and that's the kind of stuff I'm going to bring you. That's the kind of content that I'm going to do. But I'm also going to share my journey with you because we're going through this together. And there's so many people out there that are trying to take our money. There's so many people out there that are saying, "Oh, this is this and this is that. You gotta have this, and you gotta have that." Well, they're full of shit. Don't fucking listen to them. Trust your own palate. Make those relationships with your local B&M. Get with those people. Talk with them. I guarantee you're going to be way better off in the long run. You know, just like I have Cassie at the cigar room. You know what I mean? She's an amazing person. Her husband's an amazing person. Yeah. Chris, they do wonderful things. They care about people. These online retailers, I don't give two shits about you. And they sure in the fuck ain't going to give you a discount. And they sure in the fuck ain't going to give you a cigar when you've given them several cigars to try. You know what I mean? Build them, do it, do that thing, you know? And anyway, just thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate y'all being here. Terry, Ray, everybody that here, everybody has, made comments. Texas Taurus. Give a hashtag chunky, dude, just so you can get in on the thing. Cash is in on it. Ray's in there. Ryan. Um, I wanna send somebody a really good cigar bomb, and we'll see what it is. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me on a Super Bowl Sunday. You didn't have to, and I'm just pleased that I got 7 people in here right now, and I've been on for 2 hours. You know, so thank you for uh, watching me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for everything you've done. And if you aren't, a subscriber to my channel, then please do so. Um, just hit the like, hit the subscribe. It makes such a huge difference in the algorithm and blah blah blah. But anyway, love you. Appreciate patronage. Thanks for being here with me on a Sunday morning. Uh, go hang out with my wife, eat some Super Bowl food, even though we're not going to watch the Super Bowl, and just chill out and have a good day. And I hope you all do the same. So until next time, peace. Thanks for watching the Old Fogey Stogies.